Hi, I'm Dak Phillips. I'm an instructional designer at Snead State Community College. I'm also a computer science instructor, and today is the first day of classes for fall 2025. But what I want to do is take you through just a few of my courses, show you where to find things, and just kind of give you an overview of how I typically design courses in a given semester at Snead. So I've got 5 courses that I'm teaching this semester: CIS 117, CIS 201. 117 is a database class, 201 is a programming class using C++. It's more of an intro level class. CIS 251 also teaches C++. It's intended for transfer students. This is my only in-class course this semester, and I'll show you a little bit of the differences there. CIS 268 is a software support class, and then CIS 287 is a SQL Server course. Let me just get into my database course and kind of show you around. We use Canvas as our primary LMS at Snead, and when you get into the course, you've got just a boilerplate homepage. I've updated some of the verbiage in it to reflect the course name, who's teaching the semester, and that kind of thing. The buttons here are pretty much standard across our courses, as well as the color scheme and everything. I do my own announcements, and so what I like to do the first week is give students a welcome back, and so that's visible this week. I do a little bit of a description on the homepage telling what the course is about. Most of the students here know to go ahead and click Start Here to get into the course. Uh, we just recently adopted Simple Syllabus as our syllabus solution. This is also used at the University of the Cumberlands. Um, I'll go ahead and open this up. We're still trying to get the hang of this. It was implemented this summer, and so we're still kind of messing around with that, trying to see what all needs to be done. Uh, in terms of the syllabus, I provide my instructor information, my instructor bio, a contact policy. A lot of this was able to be put in by the instructor. Division director is populated automatically. I got a new job this time, and so I actually made it to be a division director this time, and it's something that I'm kind of enthused about, and that kind of thing. Oh, you've got textbook material, course objectives, and I try and do this institutional program and course student learning objectives. And this course has 6 particular ones. Try and use a lot of Bloom's taxonomy in doing that. I actually had some help with ChatGPT on my objectives. I'm trying to do this kind of thing for all of my courses. Just kind of put in all of the objectives that we cover weekly and say, hey, give me about 3 or 4 overarching objectives here. And it generated 6 for me on this course. Course outline of topics, I try and tell students what we're going to do. Calendar just has a list of assignments there. You've got the evaluation grades and things like that. Instructors are able to make up their own late policy, grade appeals policies, things like that. In a lot of my courses, since this is like a community college, we don't want our students using artificial intelligence. We're still trying to figure out how best to implement artificial intelligence, and that's something that I'm struggling with. I'm trying to figure out the best way to provide access to my students, because we know that they know it exists, and we know that they're going to use it in a lot of cases anyway. So we're still kind of dealing with that. Got some other policies and things like that, and then just some standard Snead boilerplate here. Modules, this is where the content of the course is for all of my courses, and kind of in keeping with Quality Matters, we have a Start Here section in all of our courses. try to put together an intro video for all of my courses just to introduce students to it. If students watch this video, and it is kind of lengthy, I tend to record about 30 minutes on these videos, but I try and show them everything from soup to nuts on where to find things in Canvas, what we're going to study, go over the syllabus in depth, and that kind of thing. Also in the start here, it lays out a lot of our policies and procedures for the semester, things like the online learning student handbook that students need to read through for online courses. You've got a policy that I put together, Canvas and course policy, and this lays out things like late penalties and things like that. It also kind of indicates where in Canvas students can go to find certain things. You've got a college policies and resources, and this is a video that I basically go over that Snead boilerplate and explain it in layman's terms to students. Most of our courses have Start Here verification quizzes that incorporates some of these policies, some of the syllabus, and things like that. It's just our attendance grade that allows students just to prove that they're present and attending. I put a little blurb here on Meet Your Instructor with similar verbiage to what's on the syllabus, but I try and put my picture on there so that students can get kind of a personal touch with me and that kind of thing. And then there's just some helpful links and things like that. Some standard things like the academic integrity policy. That's not part of the grade for the Start Here verification quiz, but that and the makeup policy are information that the students need to know. I tend to break things up in terms of weeks, and so I modify my courses a little bit. Some instructors have like modules, and all the students have to go through all the modules depending on what the length of the course is. I tend to massage my information, and so students have to do the exact same amount of work in, say, a 5-week summer semester that they do in a 10-week summer semester that they do in a 16-week fall or spring semester. But I do kind of reorganize that information under terms of weeks. I have all of those weeks open each Monday so that students, some students try to work ahead, and sometimes I'm privy to that, and I can allow students to work ahead, but most of the time I try and keep students along the same pace. So I open my courses, my course content every Monday, and so you can kind of see that through here. In terms of the material, a lot of weeks I have, for each week that we have material, I give students objectives and say, after you complete this week, you should be able to do these things. Task list, this is things like you need to read this, you need to watch this video, and then any assignments for the week. Most of the assignments, the due dates and the point values are displayed in Canvas, and so I kind of go with that rather than repeating that information on the task list. There are some other sections of the course. Announcements. I don't do an announcement for every single homework assignment, but I try and give students important dates. I try and give students well wishes on holidays and things like that. Give them a welcome the first week. Let them know when any tests are due, like the final exam that has to be proctored and things like that. For the first week, I have them do a discussion post. And this just kind of helps me familiarize myself with my students. I have them introduce themselves, tell me a little bit about their major, and then what kind of existing knowledge they already have as far as the subject matter for the course. Like this course is database, so I have them rate their database and experience and that kind of thing. I try and give them some a discussion post rubric so they know that how I'll grade that and that kind of thing. And then Honor Lock, that's our proctoring solution that we use to allow students to take final exams assignments and things like that with a proctor watching them. And we kind of have to do this because of our accrediting agency, SAC-COC. They want to prove that students are who they say they are when they're in courses and doing work and things like that. So as a community college system, the Alabama community college system decided to purchase a one size fits all solution for all of the schools. HonorLock has some various tiers, and I think ours does include some AI monitoring, and then a proctor jumps in if too many flags are coming up or something like that. But that's kind of how I lay out my courses. So as far as what's different between my online courses and my in-class, I kind of mentioned that I would go through that. Same kind of layout on the homepage, but on the modules, I tend not to do an intro video. Instead, I save that for in-class discussion and that kind of thing. One thing that I do in this particular course is I have recorded lecture videos previously, and so even though I'm lecturing in class, and oftentimes I'll change things up a little bit with what I say in class. But sometimes we have students that miss. I have athletes that always attend my course, and so for that reason, I tend to give them lecture videos that I've done previously, just so in case they miss, they can catch up with that material. It also allows students that maybe they didn't get everything in the lecture, and so it lets them review and that kind of thing. Again, I open those weeks on Mondays as the semester progresses. And I let them know that maybe they won't get one Thanksgiving week because we're off, but all the other weeks, whether there's a holiday or not, everything comes open on those Mondays. So just wanted to take a few minutes and show you how I run courses at Snead State, some of the courses that I teach, and give you an overview of how those things line up. So that's all I've got. So I appreciate you watching.